Hi, welcome back to Moose Jaw This Week. I'm Lyle Johnson, your host, and this is our first program we're taping this year. And we're here at the Mosaic Place in Moose Jaw to cover the induction ceremonies for the Moose Jaw District Sports Hall of Fame. And one of the inductees is with us today, and so I'd like to introduce you to Roger Anholt, who's certainly a man about town many people know, and still puts his hand in the educational business, but for many years, Roger, you were involved with athletics in Moose Jaw as a participant, a coach, and in both baseball and hockey, and also with a little bit of curling in there. So you've had a pretty good run so far.
Well, you know, I like to think I made a few good decisions in my life, and I think probably one of the better decisions was after I got my degree, and we were wondering, I would get a job, and I was offered a job here in Moose Jaw, and I think probably that was a great decision for Darlene and I to move here, working at Peacock for 35 years with wonderful staff like yourself and great students, and then getting involved on the athletics, particularly, as you said, from the baseball point of view and from a curling point of view. And now as time is going on, I'm helping out with minor girls softball.
Yeah,
so yeah.
It helps to have a granddaughter, Courtney, doing that.
Yeah, she's my favorite granddaughter,
yeah.
But she reminds me that she's the only one. So.
But Roger, and you were involved in. It started off with baseball, and you created the Cardinals program in our city.
Well, we were part of the Little League system, and of course, in the Little League system, every year you would pick an all-star team, and that all-star team would then play for another couple months. And so as time went on, the all-star team didn't change too much because they got that extra 2 months of baseball. And then I was persuaded, shall we say, to leave the Little League system and join Saskatchewan baseball, where we could put the Cardinal team together. There were doubters. There were a lot of doubters. We had to find a diamond, a place to play. We did. 2 years later, we were the Western Canadian Bantam Championships. You know that because you were in Bern, and I used your van. And then we went on, and with the ball players that we had, I mean, we had Ryan, for example, played on Team Canada. James Avery was in. We get ball players like that. Curtis Brown was on our team. He played hockey here, and all the good athletes in baseball just, it never ended. Mm-hmm. And that's it from a baseball point of view. From a curling point of view, you got world champion Pat Simmons, and there's many, many more that I can name as well. But it just turned out that this has been a place where I was saying to someone else, I don't really know when I moved here if I've worked a day in my life. It's just been fun. It's been a life of fun.
Yeah, people asked me when I retired, they said, what's it like? I said, well, I never went to work a day in my life teaching at the school I did and being involved with the programs that I got to do. One of my favorite things that for you that you taught me about coaching, something I knew, but it just never was well articulated. And you said, well, it's not believing that the kids need to understand. It's that they have to believe that they can do it. And if you teach them that, then it'll happen.
Well, and the things we used to do at practice, there's always a purpose to something. Mm-hmm. And we tried to still into the athletes at whatever sport it is that when you go out to work at something, then work at it. And so we did. In the various sports, we would break it down as to what element of the sport we were going to work with at practice. And we always try to end a practice, whether it was at the curling rink or whether it was at the ball diamond, with some fun. I was never a believer that somebody says, well, I stop practice when they get tired of it. No, I like to stop practice when they're having the most fun, because then they want to come back and do it again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And of course, the coaching that you did, the athletes that you work with were, they're good kids. But that's one of the things you mostly emphasize with them too, is that in a competition or in a game, it's best to be a good person. And you always emphasize that. A lot of times your teams would win the most sportsmanlike award because of that philosophy.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, which is true. We had so many. I never had a player I didn't like. That doesn't mean we didn't have the odd little problem. We had some big egos, but I think to be a good athlete, you have to have a big ego. And you're right. Good people, good things happen to good people, and good things happen to those teams because they were such good people.
Yeah, that's for sure. Now, you're still substituting.
Well,
Yeah.
occasionally.
Yeah, and
There's the odd school that likes to have me come in occasionally. There's the odd teacher. I guess maybe I'm still kind of old school.
Yeah, well,
And we'll leave it at that.
yeah, you're doing dumb things. And it was interesting, too, you mentioned about kids. You never met a kid you didn't like. And maybe you didn't like what they did, but you never disliked the kid. It was always
That was my sports team.
Not in school, no.
No, there might have been one or two in school that kind of got under my skin a little bit, but I'm sure that I got under the skin of many students. And people, some have told me that as well. You know, I really didn't like you in our team, and
you were part of the first father-son combination.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah. But, you know, he's there because of his ability. I'm there because I surrounded myself with good people, as I said before. And when you do that, you know, I just jump on the bus and ride along. And we'd worked on the kind of things we wanted to work on. And the one thing, too, is never worry about wins and losses. Play the game. Because the minute you start being worried about whether you're going to win, you're going to lose, you're probably going to lose. And so we tried to instill that. This is a place to have fun.
Yeah,
but learn. Like, for example, the dugout is not a place just to visit. The dugout is the best classroom you're ever going to have. And so we never said go up there and take the first pitch. Learn what the pitcher's throwing on his first pitch from the dugout. Because the little things turn into big things. And so have fun, work on things, pay attention, let the score take care of itself.
And one person I think we have to mention, besides your family's great support, but that's Charlie Meacher.
Well, you know, and we can go back a little bit further than that too in terms of the baseball. Jerry Miller and his son Paul and Ryan were the best of friends, and Jerry certainly helped out with the coaching. When Craig Flanagan came on board, Earl Flanagan was the coach. And then when Earl left in about 1994-95, Charlie came on board. And you're absolutely right. Charlie and Louise are the best two people, and who knows, I think they should probably be here talking to you someday, I hope, as well. My job primarily with the Cardinals was to coach. All the fundraising, all the details, all the paperwork, whatever, was left up to Charlie and Louise. So they certainly are a very big part of our life. Yep.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Roger, congratulations.
Thank you.
It's nice to see you up on the wall with the kid.
We're going down to see him.
Yeah,
in about
is he
2
coming?
weeks.
Is he going to be able to come for this?
Well, I don't know. We'll talk about that in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
We're going to go do a little visiting. Got 2 grandkids down there that are fun to watch. One of them Ryan calls Little Raj. Whether that's good or bad, I don't know. I'll let other people decide. But yeah, the 2 boys down there, if I can say, they go to a private school down there. They're very athletic. They're extremely smart. One of them will be an inventor of whatever, and the other one can be his lawyer because he'll argue black as white.
Well, Roger, on October 20th,
Yes.
the induction ceremonies will take place here, and certainly people are invited to attend who've maybe been in contact with you over the years in your sports or your academic world, and wish you a very good time and lots more years of in your new career as girls hockey. Well, Courtney plays hockey. She plays baseball, and she's.
You know, my whole family has been that way from the time I met Darlene and her athleticism, and then we had 2 kids, and our 2 kids had 2 kids, and it's what we do. It's what we do.
Yeah,
we follow them around and watch everything, but not just our kids. We're a block away from the ball diamond here, and when we hear the bats going, we got to walk over and see what's going on.
For sure, and you don't miss very many high school sports as well. You're still in the crowd for a lot of things.
Yeah. We like to watch even more. Like I'd like to watch the games this weekend, but Courtney's got tryouts for the next year's summer games team, so we have to be there.
That's great. That's Roger Anholt talking about his induction into the Moose Jaw District Sports Hall of Fame. Don't go away. We'll be right back.